she said everything went well and wonderful, and the baby is healthy and growing and doing well. So anyway, that's really good. So, Father, Mother God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this beautiful weather we're having. We thank you for our church and our fellowship that meets here. We ask today that you would guide us as we go through our lives and touch each and every one of us with your love, your grace, and teach us about the ways to be more loving toward one another. And we would ask the same for every human being on this planet, as well as every animal, every being that lives here, that you would just touch us with your love. Amen. Okay. So now we have another song. It's another TBA, so I have no idea what he's doing this morning.
Wings of Song, number 74.
Mystery songs.
Brown Book. Margaret did get with me, but I was out of pocket, so I was like, just put TBA and we'll figure it out. And yeah, in the silence.
There's George.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light now you'll find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved with gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there. In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow wins, good is there. In the light now you'll find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved with gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there.
Margaret, can you hear me okay? That's great, because Margaret has probably the hardest hearing, so if she can hear me, everyone else can too, so that's great. All right, follow me with our reflective moment, if you would, please. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. Okay, are you ready, Carol? Okay, come on up.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I found this in Think Indigenous by Doug Goodfeather, and it's called Walking with Wisdom. Wisdom is a part of spiritual intelligence that allows us to see people and situations with clarity, as well as a natural understanding of the relationship between seemingly unrelated things. Being wise has to do with knowing what not to do, like knowing when to pause instead of taking action, or knowing when to praise instead of being critical, or knowing when to listen instead of talking. For example, when you communicate with an Indigenous elder, they speak deliberately and may take long pauses between thoughts. Before they reply to your question, they are allowing their information to be heard and thought through, and for the intention of the message to bloom in its own space. In most conversation in modern society, many of us aren't truly listening as much as we're just waiting for the slightest pause so we can jump in and speak to fill the void. We must be mindful that a pause is not an invitation to give feedback. If feedback was not asked for, understanding the pause in a conversation is the difference between talking at someone and talking with someone. Practicing pausing before you speak. When you do speak, evaluate if what you have to contribute is even relevant and beneficial to what's already been said or what is already understood. The old ones teach us that our tongue is connected to our heart. The lesson being for us to learn to speak through our heart rather than letting whatever comes into our brain go running straight out of our mouth. Our breath carries power, our words can provide clarity, our words can heal, and our words can destroy. So let's not be reckless or wasteful with the wisdom of our words. To be wise is to wait for the time to offer advice. Don't give direct advice, but instead offer something so that those listening can arrive at their own conclusions. Many times the person you're advising already knows what to do. They're just looking for permission to do it. You cannot give them that permission. That permission must come from within themselves. Though of free will, wisdom has a lot to do with guiding people to their own conclusion, rather than leading them to your answer. Always look to your heart to stay truthful. By Doug Goodfeather.
It's a true. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's give a hand to Carol. I think I'm you. Now, could y'all hear Carol? Fine. Okay. Can the Zoom people, could you hear Carol?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Glad you're with us, Curtis. Okay. We have another song.
Yeah, GBA, of course. This is in the, don't do this, they used to do this song a long time ago, but it's in the book binder. It's a simple song, it's Magic Penny. The ends. Love is something if you give it away. give it away, give it away. I said love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. 'Cause it's just like a magic penny, you hold it tight and you won't have any. Then spend it and you'll have so many to roll all over the floor. For love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. I said love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Well, money's dandy and we like to use it, but love is better if you don't refuse it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it unless you lock up your door for more. So let's go dance until the break of day, and if there's a pipe, then we can pay. But love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more. You'll end up having more. You'll end up having more.
All right. Thank you, Fred. Today, our main message is going to be brought to us by Reverend Dr. George Harris, and he is in the house. He drove up from Albuquerque, and he was a couple minutes late, but so were we, and it was all in divine right order. Everybody's here, and he's prepared, and he's going to give us a good message with lots of good information that we can use immediately, because I can say that with confidence because he always does. Okay, so give us a big round of love and applause for Dr. George Harris. You'll come up, I think it'd be better if I mic you up.
Yeah, you want to switch mics?
You can get my mic. Can you put that on? Wait a minute, I did it wrong. Yeah. Yeah, somewhere there. That'd be good. How's that?
Turn this on.
It's on.
Oh, it's red.
Yeah. Here we go.
Well, good morning, beloved beings.
Morning.
Good to see you all. There's one thing that I'm working on and changing in my life. Actually, there's probably two things, maybe more. But one that I want to talk about quickly to get into is that I am learning how to slow down my life. It has been really fast for most of it, and I'll explain why later. But the medical procedures that I've been through, 3 of them or the last 3 years, really hit me in the face that I needed to slow down. First of all, I'm walking, and I've been working on that because I've had enough trips over sidewalks and other things of falling down because of out of balance in my body. And so I need to make the balance happen more, which is what I'm doing. The second part of that of slowing down is how I talk. I've noticed that for a while that I talk really fast, and I want to slow down more, because I've realized when I slow down, there's more happening around me and inside of me than there is when I'm going fast. I'm not paying attention. And I want to start paying attention because there's a lot of things going on. So, Carol, I'm wondering if you would do me a favor. When I'm talking, I'm going to use you as an example. If it feels like I'm moving too fast, would you just go like this?
Okay.
And tell me slow down? Okay, I appreciate that. So there's a lot of things that are happening that I want to talk about that's starting today but going on into the future. And it starts with, I had a very interesting life starting at age 3. I was my mother told me she put me in a crib outside the front house while she did dishes or something. And I kind of slightly remember it in my body. But in this crib, people would walk by and I would go, how do? And they wouldn't pay attention, and she'd hear me going, how do, getting mad at them because they weren't paying attention. And that was age 3. Then age 4, my mother and father, who were still together briefly at the time, took my aunt and uncle and my sister and I to an amusement park in Denver, Lakeside Amusement Park, and I had the Trocadero Ballroom, which was playing music in the 40s. And all the adults were out dancing, and at some point I grabbed my sister, who was a year younger, and took her out on the dance floor. And we danced, and all the adults just stood around in the circle and watched us together. And that was the beginning of my dancing, which I've done my whole life. But I'd forgotten about those, and just recently with some energy work and insight and meditation and so forth, I've realized that that was the beginning of who I am as this very joyful, loving person. And that I became aware of it was God living through me, because that's what we're here in this physical body for, is to experience God. And I was doing that at that age, even though I was consciously, unconsciously doing it. So that's God's purpose for being here. That's why we're in this body that we're in. So God can live into all the cells of the body and allow ourselves to be connected to Source as much as we can. Then at age 7, I realized the beginning of my intuitive life, which I've talked about here before. My mother took me to the doctor's office because I had a real upset stomach that lasted for a few days. And so the doctor came out and told us that I had an ulcer. And I knew exactly why I had the ulcer, because of the upset that was going on in my house. And I just assumed that people knew that, it was like it was an intuitive thought that just came in. Then at age 10, she took us to my sisters and I to the doctors. And again, I'm sitting there watching people in the doctor's office going, why are they here? Don't they know how to heal themselves? And I assumed that everybody had that sort of thought, but I found out no, at that age. So what it told me, and I realized this afterwards, that I came into this physical life as a healer in lots of different ways, and that my intuition started. And so I started working on my body to do healing on my body. One time I got sunburn on my feet from being barefoot out in the sun too much. And I held my hand over it and I put energy into it, and I could feel it starting to cool down. And I finally got to the point where I could walk. And so I was just doing things like that on my own body and not friends or other people. And so it has been an interesting life with those things that have come in. It's been a life that's been growing for me. It's been expressive. It's definitely been learning in so many ways. The classes and the courses that I've taken and intuitive work and sometimes it's been very painful. But there's been a reason why that's all come about, because I made an agreement with Source, with my Heavenly Father before I left, that I was here in this body to be who I am and to do what I'm supposed to do. And so I've learned how to say yes, because anything else than that messes things up. When you say no, it's like going with the ego. So I've been amazed at one thing after another, and it's just got me in this place where the growth is really happening, and it's starting even more right now. And I've been guided and taken by the hand of God. I've been pushed by God. I've been enlightened by God in everything in my life, because I made this agreement that I would be of help to humanity. And that's what's been happening. So I made a vision, a purpose, an agreement with Spirit that says, I am here to wake up as many people as possible to the power of love. So to do that, I have to be happy myself and love myself, which I've had to work on that again this particular lifetime, because I've done it in past lives. They've come to me and showed me when I had to do a lot of work on self-love. That's the vision and that's the purpose of since I was born out of God's essence and soul, that's what my goal is. So it has always been learning how to self-love, and I've had to go through a lot of areas, as we all do, to get to that place. And I've had to be awake to that as well, to learn again how to love myself regarding all the situations of my childhood and everything that I've gone through. And so it's been quite a challenge again, but really exciting as well. The whole idea of loving myself has become a lot stronger, and I can't get off the track. I'm involved with the deep expressions of what that is. I love people. I love giving love to people. More and more lately, I go outside and to the stores or somewhere, and whoever it is, I just stop and say, "You are loved, you are loving, and I love you." And only one person's reacted to me so far. Most of them thank me, or they say, "Oh, same to you," or "Oh, God, a guy the other day, I was in a restaurant, Subway, buying some cookies, and I said it to him, he says, "Oh God, I needed to hear that." And I'm like, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear people getting something from this message from God, because it's not me, it's Source speaking through me. So there are times that I've lived in a different vibration, a different body, as we all have in past lives. But the basic thing has been expressing through my soul all the time, expressing God's expression, God's want, God's desire for all of us, which is to love Him and Mother God, and to love ourselves. Some years back in 2009, I was given a spiritual name from a teacher of mine. It is called Maitreya. And even though I have several names to express who I am being, this was the one that's my big spiritual name. It means, well, I'm going to come back to it in a minute. But I also have some other names that go along with it. And the only one that really matters is God. I am God, you are God. But all the names that we have are there for a reason and a purpose. So for instance, my main name, my birth name is George. So George means farmer or sower of seeds, which is what I do in my work. I sow seeds, and Jesus said, be careful don't throw seeds on barren ground. So I've had to watch that, not be out in the world just going, oh, listen to this and listen to this and let me help you with this. Some people aren't ready for it. So it's very important that I follow that guideline. Then my middle name is Michael, the right hand of God. And I feel that a lot, and I have a really deep connection with Archangel Michael as well. Then I have my confirmation name because I grew up in a Catholic faith, so I am Francis, free to give to my fullest free individual, giving to myself as the individual that I am. And just recently, in a deeper meditation I went through, I was given the name Samuel from the Bible. I looked it up, and from the Hebrew, it means God has set or God has placed, meaning right now that I have been put into the womb of God for the rebirth that's going to happen into Father, Mother God as Maitreya. So it's like Samuel's preparing the way more for Maitreya to come out into the world. When I first heard that name, it didn't fit with me. It seemed a long name. I didn't know what it meant at first. I didn't have a connection to it. Then I finally learned what it meant. It helped a little bit, but I still was having trouble connecting with it. After a couple of years, I finally did. I've been meditating and stating it, and finally it started to mean something. And then I put it away and I meditated in other ways, and it just has come back recently. Letting me know that this is who I am. So the meaning of the name of Maitreya is Buddha Maitreya, the Buddha of Buddhas, the wandering master of masters who has given the love of the universe to all and has come in the body to heal. That's me. That's why I'm here, come in the body to heal in all the different ways. And also the wandering Buddha of Buddhas, I've gotten the message lately that I'm going to be traveling a lot with my work. I need to get this out into the world. And this is the place I'm starting today. I actually started in my apartment where I'm at, but more so here today. And I'll explain that in a little bit. So it's been great for me to open myself up, to hear God speak to me, to hear God tell me who I am and what I need to do. And lately I've been feeling a lot of vibrational energy differently, and that's because I'm connecting to, as I want all of us to the fifth dimension, which we're moving into, and a higher vibrational rate of connection to God. And I can feel it at times. And it feels good. It's like, yeah, there's no fear, there's nothing, just love and vibration. And so to get out into the world and to be sharing this message with everybody is going to be very important. So the wandering master of masters, who has given the love of the universe, which is from God, has given me the love of God and has put me in my body to heal the universe, to heal people. So there's two parts to what's going on. I really feel good. How does it sound being slowed down? Better? It feels better to me too. And I will, in the process that's going on, I will be in a place of just being able to quote God and talk. I don't need my notes. I'm getting away from them as much as I can, but they help now and then. And what it does is helps is that when I was typing up my notes, I've been having this energy come through for about 3 or 4 days beforehand. And I wrote on a computer, and it was like, I love writing. I'm an author, which, by the way, I'm writing a second book, which I'll talk about some other time. It's exciting though. So there's a lot of change going on for all of us. And I want all of us to wake up. In fact, this is the prayer. My soul has but one goal, to awaken to the truth that is forever me. My heart has but one desire, to remember the passion of infinite bliss. My mind has but one focus, to embrace the reality that is forever real. I choose to awaken now to the infinite love that is my source. I give everything to this love that has given everything to me. I am awake. And I thank you much, Fred, for the music you played today. It fit right in. Beautiful songs, too. So this is beginning of part one of the beginning. There's another part to it, which I'll share later. But now what I want to say is that about 2 weeks ago, if you remember, a couple months ago, I was here and I talked about intuition and feeling and all those aspects. And about 2 weeks ago, I was driving somewhere and my prophetic self said, fellowship is going to change and you're going to be a part of it. And I was like, okay. Are they going to want me to come back to be minister? I don't think I want to do that, but I'm not sure what's going on. And I said, shut up, George, just wait till it happens. So on Thursday, Margaret has a prayer group. And one night I was there, and Jerry was there, and Margaret and myself and somebody else. And then Jerry said to me, George, how would you like to speak the fourth Sunday of every month? Since you've already done it these last 2 Sundays. And I said, well, let me think about it. And so I went home and I said, all right, God, this has been presented to me. Am I supposed to take it? Which I knew the answer was yes anyway, but and God said, yes, really strong, yes. Only I want it to become a center of light. And how that's going to happen is I'm not going to come here on the last Thursday or Saturday, Sunday of the month to just do a sermon. I'm here to do a course in self-love that could last from now till God knows when. But I'm going to have lots of messages about love, about oneness, about connection. And we want to be able to fill this church up as well as feel God wants me to be the, how do I say this? He gave me a vision that said, if we put a flyer out, it will say, Fellowship of Spirit presents Community of the Beloved Family, which is my business name, facilitated by George Harris. And this is what you're going to learn, a New Thought Center. So that we want to get the flyers out to the community and let them know that we've got some very important information going on. Not just on the Sundays I'm here, but mostly that, because that's what I focus on, but whoever else is speaking to help it. And what the vision was, is God said, you're going to attract people to you, to me, so that I can get a mailing list of people to send out to the work that I do. And they're going to start coming to Fellowship of Spirit, which would be a good thing for all of us.
Yeah.
Right? Win-win situation. So I'm going to write up the flyer and get it together, and I want to get it to you, Jerry, and have you look at it, and then let's just plan together. I think it would be nice to have a little starting ceremony sometime to say, okay, this is what God wants. The best is how we know it to be, how I know it to be. But it's time for this place to grow, and God will help us do that through my work and through the work that you guys are doing. How's that sound? So I'm excited about that, and that's going to be the goal of, let's see, is there anything else I want to say? I feel good. I feel excited coming here and talking this slower. It feels right to be a little bit slow in my speech. To be even slow, I thought I left in time from Albuquerque. I left at 7 o'clock, but I found I was running late. And did I speed up? I said, nope. If I'm late, I'm late. I'm just going to go slow, and so it was okay. I feel really good inside. So we're going to start this Center of Light, Fellowship of Spirit, presenting my business coming out and helping people love themselves and grow. There's another part too, which I'll share next month about the beginning, which I will get into that and explain that as well before I really start the process of teaching what I want to teach. So I thank you for having me here. I hope that every one of you received something from it for yourself, as you talked about, something you can take from this for your own self. But when it comes down to it, this is really only for me. I felt that when I was typing up, it was like God speaking to me and saying, this is what you need to say. This is who you are. This is how you can express yourself. But we're all connecting to one another. We're connecting to the oneness. And it's going to be powerful. I feel excited about it. And so I say blessings and namaste to every one of you for being here in my life and in each other's life, and for being here for this growth that's going to happen as we move forward. Namaste.
Thank you, George. Don't run off. Does anyone have anything that they would like to ask or to address, George? Well, George, we appreciate you coming up and driving up here from Albuquerque to share with us today. And
Hello.
oops, I need the clip.
May I
Go
say
ahead,
something to
Steve.
George?
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, George. Hey, it's great to hear you. We're in Moab here. Beautiful day, and I'm really glad that you could make it up there to Farmington. And we missed a part of your talk, but we'll review it on Zoom, and we look forward to your continuing ministry. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, we'll be in touch too. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was great. So we have another song by Fred Brown.
Man down, Fred Brown. Yeah, I found this while I was waiting. This song, don't have it in my book anymore. I used to have a lot more songs in my book, and about 2.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was and I was late, and my car was full of drums, so I was trying to shove my guitar
somewhere in there and took the music books and put it on top of my car.
So you
And I
just
think
shared
you
them with,
understood what happened after that. so-
shared them with the world, didn't you?
Yeah, they were all over Blanco Boulevard. By the time I got most of them, but I didn't get all of them. This is obviously one I didn't get. Let's see if I can play this. Well, let's see, I like to teach the world to sing. Let's see what key this is. Well, I like to build the world a home, furnish it with love, grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Well, I like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear that echo through the hills for peace without the land. That's the song I sing. Let the world sing today. Well, a song of peace that echoes on and never goes away. Well, I like to build a world of home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. Well, put your hand in my hand and let's begin today. Put your hand in my hand and help me find a way. That's not right. Sometimes this music is not right.
All right,
we
Fred.
got the gist of the song.
We got it. We loved it. Thank you, Fred.
You bet.
We appreciate you. We appreciate your music. Everything about you, we appreciate. Okay, so the children are coming in. While we're doing that, we'd like to tell you that our study group on Sunday morning, we have just finished up a book by Greg Braden called Divine Matrix, and we are going to start a new book called Consciousness Explained by Daniel Dennett next week. And it is available by with the PDF version that we have found. And if you don't have it, and you will show up on Zoom next Saturday, we will be able to share that with you immediately. So don't worry about having to go out and buy a book or anything. It's not necessary. So anyway, so come and learn with us. It's all about learning about more about love and how to be better lovers. That's what we're all here about as human beings. So,
Not fighters.
so anyway, so let's observe our celebration of abundance and follow along with me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive through infinity. I am prosperous. So Jerry, are the children ready to come in or no?
Yes, ma'am.
They're on their way. The children are on their way.
You forgot to ask me if I had any.
Do you have any announcements?
We have the park push for June 21st, which is a Friday for our solstice picnic.
Okay, so we have the park reserved, the Kiwanis Park, where we always have our cookouts for June 21st solstice. And so we'll be doing it. We have a little time between now and then to promote it, but we wanted you to know that we have secured that. So we're all in good shape. Jerry has done that, and she, just like she does all the mechanics to keep us going. She's really good about that. So thank you, Jerry. Thank you for all that you do for us. Here they come.
Ron's got the microphone up on the table.
Okay, put it on like,
Well,
oh, there you go, that works.
yeah. Well, this one is for Zoom,
Oh,
and this one
you're gonna take that.
is for inside of here.
Here, come
So you can just hold this if you want. All right?
on. Okay, yeah, Maya, you hold it, because you're my low voice child.
Today we're reading out the Children's Course of Miracles. God is love. God can only create loving things, and God created you. Think for a moment about who you are and from where you come. Look at your father and then look at yourself. Does your father have hands and feet? So do you. Does your father have arms and legs? So do you. Can your father smile and laugh? So can you. Are you like your father? Yes, you are. Now think about God, the Father of everyone and everything. God, our Father, is filled with love. He is love. You cannot see love. You can only feel love. Are you like your Father? Yes, you are. Feel like your Father's love, for you are truly your Father's son. And as He filled with love, so are you also. God is love. God can only create loving things, and God created me.
All right. Well, that's wonderful, kids. Thank you very much. All right. So, Bill, are you ready for share our reading at the end here?
Yes, I am.
Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. The topic today is love. Love is the guiding principle. Love and do what you like. St. Augustine. Most spiritual traditions come back to something that sounds like the golden rule. When we choose, act, and live in love, we really can't go wrong. First, embracing a loving attitude towards others and ourselves, it naturally flows that we will not harm anyone. Even when we take steps to increase our sense of connection and offer help and encouragement to all of those around us. The most important part of my life is my capacity for love. I will focus on love and let everything else flow out from that center. I think that kind of was the essence of George's message also.
Sort of was the theme of the day, wasn't it?
Love.
All right. Thank
Love
you,
you
Bill.
all.
Thank you, Bill.
Have a great week.
Okay. So now we're going to gather up and sing our closing songs. So Steve is not here with us because he owns it. It's okay.
Do you want to sit down?
No.
You doing okay, Marianne? All right.
okay.
All right.
One, two, three. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and yes, there is peace on earth. And yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. So let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. And yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. And with every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
All right. May God bless you and keep you until we meet again.
Gotta give you your money's worth.
We are happy that you were with us today and hope that you'll come back next week, 10 o'clock, Sunday morning. Have a good week. Be careful and have a lot of fun. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Take care.